Good evening. Hello everybody. Down here at the Titanic building, down in Belfast. Stunning place. And I'm outside the famous building. I'm just going to show you a few things that you probably don't know, that a lot of people don't know in this city. A few things about the place. So, see the height of this building here? The height of this building is the exact same height as the Titanic when she was in the water. As you can see here, see this water? See this water that sits outside the building? This is a symbol to say that the Titanic will never sink again. So she's still afloat to this day. And see this building here? This one? This part of the building? That is the Titanic herself. And there's 4 parts. You've got the Titanic, the Olympic, the Britannic, and the Oceanic on the other side. And I'm just going to show you here an amazing thing that see surrounding the building. See surrounding the entire building. This is going around in a full circle around the building. See these benches here? Notice these benches. This is a code that's going around the entire building. And this is dash dot dash dot dash dash dot dash dash dot dot surrounding the whole building, and it spells out MGY CQD MGY CQD SOS. So that means there is forever a continuous message crying out for help. A huge message crying out for help still to this day. Forever. And that was the Titanic's last words when it was asking for help. And see, if you notice here on the building, if you notice these slats, see these slats here, did you see? These huge big slabs of metal that's joining. Well, see these slats? They're built up of 3,000 individual slats, which symbolise the 3,000 men and women that helped construct the ship. And I just find that absolutely fascinating. And over here, to my right, we've got the Nomadic, the only surviving White Star Line ship still in operation. It could still go to sea. And this is what I came down on my motorbike. My beautiful Honda. This is my prized possession. And I love my motorbike. So as I was saying, surrounding the whole building is this message that people don't know about. There's people that sit on these benches and they don't realise they're sitting on a secret code. Dot 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 dash dash dot dot dot. Look, there's SOS. Here's SOS. Dot 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 dash 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 dot dot dot. Absolutely amazing. And this is there's a wee shop in there. Here's a wee information board. And next I'm going to take you around to the slipway. It's the Belfast Blitz. So I'm going to take you around to the slipway here and I'll allow you to see the slipway. But isn't that fascinating? This amazing code that surrounds the building, and people don't know, like that guy. He sat there on a secret code and he doesn't even realise it. So there is the famous slipways. We've got here Bruce Ismay, Lord Peary, and Thomas Andrews. And this is where Thomas Andrews and all these men would have been standing over 100 years ago, watching this amazing ship be built. Just look at the size. And this building, as I said, is the same size as the ship when she was in the water. And this is where the ships lay. Absolutely beautiful. And there's the famous drawing rooms. That's where Thomas Andrews would have drew the Titanic. And that's the hotel. Amazing. So I'm going to show you another cool fact here. I'm going to show you something amazing here. So see this building here, which is the Titanic itself. See at that very point. See at this point here, right at the tip. And see if you do a direct line from that point, it faces out to the Atlantic Ocean, and it actually faces exactly where the Titanic sank and her coordinates. So that ship is aligned, that part of the building is aligned perfectly to the coordinates of where the Titanic sank. And I'll show you a clip of that. I'll show you exactly how that is on Google Earth. Okay, we're in my studio, and if you've made it this far in the video, thank you very much for watching. And this is absolutely fascinating that I discovered this, and I don't think this was by accident. This was not by accident at all. And this is where the Titanic, its fate was sealed, impacting the iceberg that cold, moonless night, and her demise and her tragic end had been sealed. And this is where the exact location is of the disaster, right here. And these are the coordinates if you want to check and verify. If you would like to check and verify yourself, these are the exact location coordinates. So if we zoom out here and go over to Ireland, let's zoom in. So this lane continues, and the exact location, Titanic, Belfast. Here's the Titanic buildings. Look at that. Isn't that extraordinary? And there was me standing here looking up at this building. And as I said in the video, the building here is the exact same height as the Titanic when she was in the water. So the exact same height. So it goes to show you how massive this iceberg must have been, because witnesses who survived the sinking said that the ice crashed onto the deck, and ice landed on the deck of the ship. So can you imagine the size of that iceberg? So this is the exact same size as the ship, and it just goes to show you the scale. And I just think that's amazing that the Titanic is facing out to where she eventually would sink. I just find that I get goosebumps when I look at this type of stuff. Look at that. Exactly facing out. And see this curve here? I think that's to do with the curvature of the earth. The way there's a slight bend. But this is a straight line, as straight as I could get it. That is amazing. And I can show you here the SOS, CQD, the messages. There is the nomadic here. There is the nomadic. There's that wee boat. Hamilton Dock. Caisson. So that's a landmark. I need to do more research into this thing. I don't know exactly what it is, but it's a strange looking wee vessel. And right here, SOS, ... dash, MGY, CQD. Look, it surrounds the whole building. And you can actually see the markings of the ships where they were constructed and laid. Absolutely fascinating stuff. This is the pumping house as well. Next time, I think my next video will show you HMS Caroline. And this is the ship that was in the Battle of Jutland in World War One, and it's still surviving. Fantastic ship here. I should show you this next. These are the pumping houses, and this is the alcohol that they brew here. Thompson's Dry Dock. Did Mr. Andrews, did he live around here? I think. I can remember it showed you. It showed exactly where Mr. Andrews. There's the White Star House. It used to say Mr. Andrews' house. I can't find it at the moment, but I find that absolutely fascinating. And I've been on the tour. I've actually done this tour with a tour guide, And I explained this to the tour guide, and the tour guide didn't have a clue. He did not know that this actually done this. And I think the builders thought of this, or this is some sort of divine intervention. There's no way that that's just coincidence. That's just by accident. So exactly a straight line. It's just eerie, very eerie in the middle of the ocean. This ship is just still lying down there now in mute silence. Still to this day. Just eerie stuff. And I just thought I would share this with you, and I do find this stuff fascinating. Very, very, very fascinating. And I have a deep interest for our history, especially with this ship. A beautiful, beautiful ship that ended so tragically. But I thought I would show you that, and I'll continue on with the video. So thanks very much for watching. By the way, sorry, before we end, this is where Mr. Andrews was from. He was from Cumber, here. So he used to travel up to Belfast, and this was his hometown in Cumber. But yeah, I thought I would show you that, and I'll continue on with the video if you would like to see other stuff that I'm going to show you. So thanks very much for watching, and please subscribe. There's much more to watch in this video, and if you could like and share, subscribe, all that, I'm so grateful. Thank you very much for watching. Absolutely fascinating stuff. And I'll show you next the Nomadic. So we're here at the Nomadic. And there is the building. And I've did tours of this ship, and there is the famous White Star flag. There's the famous flag, the famous ship. Molly Brown, Charlie Chaplin was on board this boat, this little ship, and this is Titanic's little sister. And I think I would share with you a fascinating story which happened to me and my girlfriend. And there was one night she was on the internet and she seen an opportunity to do a paranormal tour, to do an 8-hour stay overnight on this boat and do a paranormal tour, because you enjoy that type of stuff, you know. And I really do wish I seen something, but I'm going to tell you what we all experienced. We all experienced this, every single person, and there was about 25 people, and I can do a more in-depth video about my experience, but I'm going to tell you something. Every single person experienced this, and there was skeptics that were on the tour too, and I wasn't expecting to see anything. I was just hoping, like, if it did, it would be good. But while we were doing the tour, we all went down below deck. So way down there, we were underneath, inside, down at the stern. right at the back. And I'm telling you now, everyone experienced this. The engines, the boat began to vibrate and shake, and I mean extremely. Like, it was so noticeable. And at the end of the tour, we told the guy who locked the boat up and controlled all security, and he said that there's no engine on board, so that's impossible. And he said that he has heard about stuff like that happening, but he actually couldn't believe that we experienced it, and we did. And I actually don't know what this thing is. This must have been one of White Star Line's boats that they made, for sure. And it is mad that that boat was a tender to the Titanic. So but really, that's all I got to share, and I hope you enjoyed watching this and enjoyed some of the facts about the ship, because this is something we all must cherish, is our history, and respect the men and women who give their lives to save people. And this is something I'm proud of, that our nation built such a historical ship, and it's probably one of the most famous stories in the world. Like, when anyone talks about disasters or ships sinking, the Titanic comes to the mind straight away. And it is an amazing story, a feat of engineering, and a testimony to humanity, that what we're capable of doing to help each other. And when disasters happen, the way people come together. And what's amazing is that our country has the Troubles, and the Troubles affected so many people. But in 1988, when the peace treaty was signed and the Troubles stopped after 40 years of conflict, after 1988, when the Titanic film was released, there was a big surge in tourism here in Belfast, and the government here thought, oh, all these tourists are coming here because they want to see the Troubles. They want to see the history of the Troubles. But it wasn't. It was that. All tourists flocked when they heard there was peace and the Titanic film was released, and it made it famous, because people started asking who built this ship. And see, when they heard it was Belfast, they all fled to Belfast to see the history. And the government was so shocked. The government here was so shocked at the amount of tourism that they said, we have to build something. We need to build a building to respect this ship. And here is the result of that. And I think that's one of the most beautiful buildings I've ever seen. So I just thought I'd make a wee short video here. It could have been longer. It could have went. There's way more to look at. You know, there's Thomas Andrews. He lived down there in a small little apartment down there. You've got the Titanic Hotel here. There's loads here I can share, but for now I thought I'd make this short. And if you would like to see more stuff, please like, comment and share. I really appreciate you. Thank you very much, and God bless.